On the go, but still want to check out the latest from Johnny Walker LA? Laker news, college top 10s, mock drafts, every video's audio, now on additional platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and Soundcloud. Link in the description below. Last year, we looked at the 5 players in the 2016 draft that would be considered busts in the coming years. 1 year later, we predict the next crop of players that have disappointed so far in their career, their strengths, weaknesses, and the events that led to their downfall so far in their career, and the 5 players from the 2017 draft that will be busts. With the first pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers selected Markelle Fultz from the University of Washington. At 6'4", 200 pounds, Fultz was considered the top guard most of the year in the 2016-2017 college basketball season. He would earn this honor by averaging 23.5 rebounds and 5 assists during his 1-year campaign at the University of Washington, while shooting 47% from the field and 41% from 3. With these type of shooting split, Fultz was looking like the prototype NBA point guard you want in today's NBA, with great length and athleticism to be a scary two-way player for years to come. While Fultz put up great numbers in his 1 year at Washington, it was without much winning, as the Huskies basketball team would finish with a 9-22 record, with a 7-game losing streak to end the season, one of the worst Husky basketball records in their history. Fultz would sit the last 6 games of the college basketball regular season with a knee injury, but was expected to be healthy for the draft process, confident in his performance during the college basketball season. Fultz was set to work out for only the Boston Celtics, who secured the #1 pick in the draft. While there is no footage of the workout, there were many rumors that Fultz shot poorly in Celtics workouts. This may have led to Danny Ainge's ultimate decision to move the Celtics #1 pick to the 76ers for the 3rd pick and future asset. Fultz would indeed be selected first overall by the 76ers and was set to take upon a large role in his rookie season. After an impressive Salt Lake City Summer League, averaging 20 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds, while shooting 46% from the field and 46% from 3 in 2 games played, the trouble started in the 76ers' next trip to Las Vegas, leaving the game with an apparent leg injury. Fultz would return for the 76ers preseason, but something was clearly bothering the first overall pick, as he would score only 4 points while shooting 2 of 13 from the field in his preseason debut. As the season would begin, many began to notice the change in Fultz' shooting, and it began to show in his numbers, as in the first 4 games of his career, Fultz would average 6 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds, while shooting 33% from the field and had yet to attempt a 3-pointer, before the 76ers would place him on an injury reserve with a shoulder injury. Fultz would return during his rookie season on March 26 versus the Nuggets, scoring 10 points while shooting 38% from the field in his return. Finishing out the season, Fultz would have his best game on the last game of the regular season, becoming the youngest player ever to record a triple-double. While the initial diagnosis for Fultz was a shoulder injury, even in his return showed little of that shooting form, which made him the first overall selection. This may have led the 76ers head coach Brett Brown in limiting Fultz' minutes during the 76ers playoff run, as Fultz would play a total of 23 minutes in the 76ers' 2 playoff series in 2017. Recording averages of 1 point and 1 assist while shooting 14% from the field. In his second season so far, Fultz has averaged 8 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds while shooting 33% from the field and 33% from 3, playing in only 19 games this season before getting ruled out with the same shoulder injury experienced in his rookie year. While expected to return this season, little details are known about his progress with this injury and if it may linger for the rest of his career. As the trade deadline approached, the 76ers would make a move, sending Fultz to the Orlando Magic for Jonathan Simmons and a 1st and 2nd round pick, putting an end to Fultz' tenure in Philadelphia. In Orlando, Fultz would look to turn his career around and avoid the dreaded bust label. With the 8th overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the New York Knicks selected Frank Ntilikina. Coming into the 2017 NBA draft, Frank was considered one of the draft's top overseas prospects. He earned this honor by performing well in the French U18 championships in Turkey, earning MVP honor by averaging 15.4 assists and 2 steals per game. Coming into the draft, Ntilikina was seen as a high IQ two-way player with a 7-foot wingspan that could set him up to be a 3-position defender in the NBA. Still, even with Frank's strength, there were still many warning signs to the limited potential in Ntilikina's game. From the beginning of his NBA career, Frank has struggled finding his place in the offense, as in his rookie season, Frank would play in 78 games, starting 9, averaging 5 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds, while shooting 36% from the field and 31% from 3. His second year in the NBA hasn't fared any better, only starting 3 games so far, averaging 6 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound, while shooting 34% from the field and 30% from 3. To survive in the NBA for a long period of time, Ntilikina will have to impress the coaches with his hustle and defense. Frank has struggled to maintain his starting role, as Coach Fizdale has experimented with various point guards over the last 2 seasons. The New York Knicks have exercised their option on Ntilikina's contract, keeping him through the 2019-2020 season, so the French guard may still have time to turn it around. But will his lack of offensive game hurt him and his potential ceiling in the NBA? Frank could still be a strong defensive asset for the Knicks, as many players have made a name and long careers for themselves by using their hustle and defense as their calling card, such as veteran Tony Allen, a 6-time all-defensive team member who only averaged 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist, while shooting 48% from the field and 33% from 3 during his career, but still survived in the NBA for 14 years. Frank will need to carve out this niche in his career to be successful in the NBA or be considered a bust. Recently, Frank's chances of staying longer in the league have taken a hit. As the trade deadline approached, the New York Knicks will make a blockbuster deal that sent Kristaps Porzingis to the Dallas Mavericks for Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and Wesley Matthews. Since this move for Dennis Smith Jr., Ntilikina has yet to see the floor, as Smith's arrival may spell the beginning of the end of Ntilikina's career. With the 15th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers selected Justin Jackson from North Carolina, but this pick will be immediately traded on draft night to the Sacramento Kings, in addition to the 20th pick in exchange for the 10th pick, Zach Collins. After 3 years at the University of North Carolina, recording his best averages during the Tar Heels' 2016-2017 championship run, for which he would average 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, while shooting 44% from the field and 37% from 3, many scouts were not high on Jackson, as his inconsistent shooting continued to be a troubling issue throughout his college career, and was often seen as a defensive liability and a limited playmaker, causing him to fall at the end of the lottery. In Jackson's rookie season, he would start 41 games for the rebuilding Sacramento Kings, recording averages of 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist, while shooting 44% from the field and 30% from 3 in 22 minutes of action. While having some decent games, still struggled with some of the same weaknesses he had in college, and seemed overwhelmed at the next level. In Jackson's second season so far, he has only received 3 starts for the Kings and 52 games played, recording averages of 6 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds, while shooting 42% from the field and 34% from 3. While increasing his numbers as a spot-up shooter, Jackson has had to fight this season for playing time, as the other Kings guards have seen their numbers increase dramatically, translating to the Kings' surprising uprise to a playoff team this season. With the Kings looking to make a push for the playoff near the trade deadline, Sacramento would move on from Jackson when they would trade him in addition to Zach Randolph to the Dallas Mavericks for Harrison Barnes. With his first game with the Mavericks, Jackson would score 3 points while shooting 1 of 3 from the field in a loss to the Bucks. Jackson will have the rest of the year and 1 more season to impress his new team before having a team option on his contract. If Jackson continues to have averages he has currently, it is very easy to see him flame out of the NBA. With the 16th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls selected Justin Patton from the University of Creighton. This pick was immediately traded on draft night to the Minnesota Timberwolves, along with Jimmy Butler for Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, and the draft rights to Lauri Markkanen. Patton spent 1 season at the University of Creighton, putting up impressive numbers of 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks per game, while shooting 67% from the field and 53% from 3 during his lone season with the Blue Jays. While showing some impressive shooting splits as a 7-footer, Patton was considered a rather unknown prospect coming into the draft, having few performances in the national spotlight. Even with this, proved to be dominant enough in college to be considered a one and done. Unfortunately, as Patton's rookie season would begin, he would break his left foot and was sidelined most of the year. Patton would play only 1 game during his rookie season for the Timberwolves, scoring 2 points and 1 steal. Instead, he would spend most of his time with the Timberwolves G League affiliate, the Iowa Wolves, starting 38 games and recording averages of 12 points and 5 rebounds in 23 minutes of action. Patton struggled to find time in the rotation as the Timberwolves already had their franchise centerpiece of the future in Karl Anthony Towns and would be seen as just a backup center with the Wolves, with little room to show his true potential. In his second season in the NBA, Patton would be on the move again as the Timberwolves would move the pair of Patton and Jimmy Butler again, this time to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for Robert Covington, Dario Saric, Jarrett Bayless, and a 2022 second-round pick. Patton's move to Philadelphia has his career even more in jeopardy, as he is currently the 4th center on the roster and will be fighting even more for minutes on this roster than he did with the Timberwolves. Patton will be a free agent after this season in the NBA, and after showing little so far in his NBA career, it will be interesting to see if he will be able to find a true opportunity with a team in the NBA. With the 24th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, the Utah Jazz selected Tyler Lydon from the University of Syracuse, but on draft night was traded to the Denver Nuggets for the 13th overall selection in the draft, Donovan Mitchell and Trey Lyles. Lydon spent 2 seasons with the Syracuse Orange, averaging his best averages during his sophomore campaign, scoring 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists, while shooting 47% from the field and 39% from 3. While showing some strong shooting numbers while at Syracuse, many scouts were curious what type of role he would play at the next level. In his rookie season, Lydon would appear in only 1 game for the Denver Nuggets, seeing only 2 minutes of action. He would get more of an opportunity in the G League for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, recording averages of 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists, while shooting 52% from the field and 37% from 3. This season, Lydon would play in 21 games, receiving only 4 minutes per game, recording 1 point while shooting 47% from the field and 40% from 3. With Lydon's rookie contract ending at the end of the season, Lydon will have to impress in the limited minutes he receives the rest of the season to see his career further in the NBA. Now that you've seen the list of the 5 draft busts in the 2017 draft, who do you think will be the biggest bust in this draft and who will have a chance to turn their career around? Leave it in the comments section below, but until then, it's been your boy, Johnny Walker LA, and I'm out.